So 5 ways that you can increase business. It's a good thing to know that there are actually only 5 ways that you can increase your business. You don't have to worry about it. All right, the first one is increase your rate. Pretty straightforward. We've talked about that all day today. You could increase the client value, how much they spend with you, increase the number of times that they work with you in a year, increase the number of clients that you have, or reduce your expenses. So we're going to talk about the 4 that I can guide you with. I would just say with expenses, if you're looking to cut them down, don't cut the marketing budget. No matter what the economy is doing, you still need to be marketing. So the first one is increase the fee. If we have 39 A clients, and let's talk about them as real estate agents, they have 5 listings each. 39 times 5 is 195 listings. If they were giving you 4 hours of work, put that in, and you were charging $75, then you would have a line item on your spreadsheet of $58,500. If you're charging $100, that leaps up to $78, and in order to make $100,000 in sales, you would have to be charging $128.50, just working with those 39 people. Now for the decorators, I tried to do a similar thing for you, and of course I'm not understanding the hours that go on a project for you, but let's say it was 20 hours, then 39 times 20 hours times your rate, or you could divide the 780, the hours into the 100,000. You're either going to charge at least $128 an hour or $2,564 a project. That would be your minimum. So you'd have to look at your projects, you'd have to look at your projects and see where do you stand with that. What are they measuring? Are they averaging 1,800 or they're averaging 5,000? Then you already know if 2,800 with 39, you only need half of those clients. Okay, second one is increase the spend. So how much money they actually spend with you. Instead of 4 hours a client, what happens if it's 6 hours? 39 clients, 5 listings, 6 hours. At $85 an hour is $99,450. You got to do the what-if scenarios in order to be able to establish where you're going. And for the decorators, if you raise your rate from $25.64 a project to $3,000, you'd actually make $117,000. So that would increase your billing by $17,000. That would be a simple thing to do. The third one was increase the times they buy, the number of times that they buy with you. So for decorators, maybe they've hired you to do a project, and can you think of something else that you could have sold them at the time? You could have talked about window treatments, so you could have talked about painting the next room, talk about the next project, and start moving that forward. But for us stagers, God love those real estate agents, their job is to go out and find work for us to work with them. So if we said one agent is 5 listings times 4 hours times $85, and our client value is $1,700, if we were charging $100, the client value would be $2,000. So your line items on your spreadsheet for the end of the year would be $66,000 or $78,000. So what happens to those numbers if that agent actually has 7 listings? It goes up incrementally. I won't go through every single one of them, but you can see here at the bottom that the client value is $2,380 times 39 clients is $92,000. We take that away from the 100, we're still looking to find that $7,180. Even though $92,000 might be really good for you, you just need to find 3 more clients or increase your rate. And if you just moved it to $100, you would already pass that $100,000 scenario. So, and so on. You just got to do those what-ifs. And really at the bottom here, we've got what if you had 40 customers with 5 listings, 5 hours at $100, that's $100,000 in sales. And that seems to be a good formula to start thinking about if $100,000 is your goal. Increasing the number of clients. This is working harder, but if you had 39 clients in your A group, we got to go now to our B group. We had 7% of our database, which represented 91 people. And if you look at that same thing, 91 of those people, 90% of them don't know they have a problem, aren't looking. 7% of them are open to hearing you, and that would give you 3 clients out of that group. 3 clients times your client value, you're increasing your sales by 7,100. Decorators, 3 more clients, your increase is 7,600. Or you could go to get more of your A group, just increase it by 4%. The thing that many of us don't do is really look at what is it that we did this year and break it down. If your end of the year was pretty pitiful last year, or maybe this was great for the effort that you put into it, did you break it down? And what I've done on this side is really write down 4 columns, the services that you're selling, how many of them that you sold, the amount of money that you're charging for those services, and then what that represents in sales. So for this example here, where the gross profit was $42,000, I just broke down things that I know that we do in staging. I used low numbers. 27 consults in a year is only 1 every 2 weeks. At the very least, I would hope you'd do 1 a day. Showcasings is the decorating side of it. Color consultations, we started certifying color consultants through our school, and we've seen an increase in Stagers' business by doing color consults. And decorators, you need to know that stagers are doing what we call staging for living. Doing real estate staging is a backdoor to getting the decorating projects. Many stagers hate doing those decorating jobs, and they pass it off to other stagers. But we call it staging for living because they love what we did when we sold their house. And I just put small amounts of money to each of these things here. Accessory rental is another stream of income for stagers. We rent it out to them. And so this adds up, white glove services. This adds up to $42,000. So to do a pro forma for you to move forward from here is do something similar to this, break down what you did last year, really break it down, and then set yourself up to do a 3-year forecast. And really, it's just like, it's like a horoscope for your business. It's just hypothesis a lot of the time. But if you're basing it on what you've already done and you want to increase, then you're using that same facility. I wrote down all the different services. RRPM is Residential Renovation Project Manager. I don't know what you call it in the decorating world, but a lot of the stages are actually helping sellers get their kitchen upgraded before it goes on the market, or their bathrooms, right? So that's another line of income that stages have. And then you project them out. So what I did over here is just change the pricing. This is the unit price for all of these services, bare minimums. And what if it was $225? What if it was $250? And what if these were these prices? So you can see here, I would have to go with all of these prices if I was to achieve more than the 100,000. And I know when it's 5 o'clock at night and you're dying for a glass of wine, it's kind of more complex. I probably should be a morning speaker. Okay. And so they're giving me the hook here. But what if, that's really what you have to do, is kind of now say, well, what if I did this? What if I did that? Put up your pro forma for your 3 years. Okay, so that's your next year. This is 2014. Your goal, you're going to make $100,000 and your sales are going to be $230,000. Then do year 3 and year four, so that you know what their targets are. How you use this in your business on a day-to-day basis or a week-to-week basis is measuring what are those results. How much business did we get this year? How close to our targets are we? Do we need to up our marketing? Do we need to down our marketing? Do we need to add people to our team? That's going to help you look at the different ways of doing business. And then the what-if scenarios are really, where you play around with the numbers. Then the key then is, will you take action? What are you willing to do to win the race, to get the job? Analyze what you're doing. look at the results that you're getting. How many times have you contacted somebody? That same person. Only 2% of people buy the first time that you contact them. 3% of people will buy after you've contacted them the second time. And 5% of people will buy after you've contacted them the third time. Most decorators and stagers give up after 2 tries. But 80% of the business comes after you've tried 5 times. So what that means is building that relationship, sending you newsletters, sending them not a Christmas card, a Thanksgiving card, or a Valentine's card. Keep away from religious holidays, but keeping that connection going with them. It doesn't have to be that you're phoning them every time. But know that, knowing those statistics really help you, and then set your intentions. So in summary, what we're talking about in terms of intentions is concentrating on using yes words and creating a positive energy flow. Create energy intentions that are uniquely yours. Understand that you've created what you're living right now and you can create something bigger and better. How you think creates your success, and every thought has an active creating vibration. And you'll know when energy is flowing because you're going to feel good. Things are buzzing, you're excited. People like to buy from successful people, happy people. And then also know that it's how you're vibrating. You got to vibrate. You got a message that you take from here, you got to go out and vibrate. And that's really what you have to do, because that lifting your vibrations is what's going to help draw people to you. And then trust. Trust that the universe will deliver. Be unwavering in your determination to allow the gifts to come to you. And remember, sometimes things might look like it's not going the way that you planned, but those are the times that the universe is actually teeing up everything to make it be better. And so my kind of final message to you is to remember the story of the mustard seed. Because I don't even know whether you can see it right here. Where this green arrow is, there's a tiny little seed there. It's tiny, so tiny. It's the smallest seed that you can even imagine. And it grows into this great big tree. So the mustard seed is the analogy for you to represent your faith. You don't have to have a lot of faith or belief that what you are setting out to do is actually going to work. But know that doubt is the opposite of faith. And it's at work, whether you believe it or not. But know that when you're out there working, it is faith that's at work, not you. And when you doubt, faith stops working.